Imagine you get inside of your BMW on a cold winter day. You start the engine, you turn on the heater, and you adjust it all the way to the maximum hot setting, only to find out that there's no air coming from the vents, and you hear this terrible sound coming from the passenger side dashboard. Well, if this is happening to you, it's probably because your blower motor has gone bad. So this is your BMW's blower motor, and what it is essentially is a large fan that blows air out of your air vents when you turn on the AC or the heater. But over time, the plastic and metal internals of the fan can wear out, causing it to make this terrible sound anytime you turn on the AC or the heat. And the main reason these blower motors fail is the plastic and metal components get rusted and worn out and don't allow the fan to spin properly, which causes the noise that you're hearing due to the worn out bearings inside of the actual assembly. And just to show you guys how weak the airflow is, I'm holding up this paper receipt up to the air vent, and you can see it's not moving at all, meaning that we have no airflow even though the vent is fully open. So in today's video, I'll be showing you how to restore your AC system's performance back to the factory spec. And so the only tool you're actually going to need is a T20 screwdriver to remove the two screws holding the passenger side kick panel to the dashboard. And so we're going to have one screw here at the bottom left and then another one on the opposite side to the bottom right. And once those are removed, you can simply unlatch this panel and move it down to the side. And so this stain right here is actually going to be the main reason why these blower motors go defective on the E chassis BMWs. So basically what ends up happening is the windshield gasket right here is supposed to prevent water from going down into the electronics of the vehicle. Over time, as you guys can see, this gasket starts to crack, which allows water to bypass, falling straight onto the blower motor, causing it to seize and rust. And so coming underneath, you're going to see the blower motors located right here with this green gasket all along the bottom. And so there will be two wiring harnesses connected to the blower motor, but you only need to remove the larger one to free up the blower motor from the vehicle itself. And now all you're going to do is press down on both sides of the connector and it'll simply unlatch from the actual blower motor itself. And BMW actually does have a recall on this wiring harness where they'll replace and upgrade it for free. If you guys haven't had that done, I highly recommend you do it. And there's no physical bolts that are actually holding this down into place. It's just simply going to twist clockwise out of the vehicle. And now removing this assembly is kind of a pain because it's a tight spot, but all you have to do is twist it clockwise so it unlatches from the heater box, and then it's just a matter of grabbing it with both hands and simply wiggling it out. Perfect, guys. And now we have the blower motor removed from the vehicle, and you can see this thing's in pretty rough shape. This is actually the factory assembly and it has almost 250,000 miles on it. You can see it's completely covered in dust. The bearings on the inside are completely rusted over as well. You can actually see that the middle is completely rusted. And then you guys can see we have a piece of copper wiring. I don't even know what that's from, but all in all, this thing is just in rough shape and it's just time to replace it. Everything needs to be replaced at least once, and this will be the first time I'm actually swapping it out. And so here attached to the assembly is going to be the blower motor regulator, and this is actually what supplies power to the fan itself from the vehicle. And now we can transfer over our factory one onto the new blower motor assembly, but I'm going to go ahead and just eliminate that being an issue all in all and just put a brand new regulator on with the brand new fan. But if yours is in good shape, feel free to carry over your OEM one, but if it doesn't work, you'll have to remove everything all over again just to replace it. And so here we have the old blower motor assembly compared to the new one, and everything looks identical. The wiring harness is exactly the same. It's the same colors, same connector. Comparing the new one to the old one is absolutely insane because the new one's literally shining from the inside. That's where the old one's rusted over and dirty and looks like it can't even spin properly anymore. Now that we've compared them side by side and made sure that's the same exact fitment, let's go ahead and install the new regulator onto the new assembly, and then we can twist it into place and plug everything up. And this is the new regulator that I purchased. It's a factory fit straight onto the new assembly, so it's not going to throw any codes or any issues at all. It should be a direct installation. And now to install the new regulator, I'll have to carry over my old factory screws because I did not buy new ones. So let's go ahead and unscrew the old regulator from the old assembly. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and transfer over these screws onto the new one. And really quick, I just want to show you guys the old regulator is completely water damaged and rusted. you guys can actually see hard water spots all over it. So look at this kind of aqua gray color, and these white marks that you see indicate that water's directly gone onto the factory regulator because it slipped past the windshield gasket that's supposed to keep all water out of the wiring system. You see how the new one is a nice solid shiny color, as to where the old one, you can tell, has 100% been water damaged. But with that being said, let's go ahead and install our new regulator to the new fan assembly, and I'm just going to carry over those 2 new screws and tighten everything down. And you want to be sure to tighten this regulator down flush, that way water can't slip past any of the sealing points. Perfect. Now with our new regulator installed, let's go ahead and click in the fan's wiring harness, and from here we can simply reinstall it in the vice versa of removal. So what you're going to do is twist it in the new assembly counterclockwise till it latches into place. And then you're going to have 2 points that line up. You're going to have the tab right over here and then this little hole as well. Once those 2 points are properly lined up and it clicks into place, that's how you know that the new blower motor is properly installed. And then once the new assembly is latched into place, simply go ahead and reinstall the main connector that we disconnected to begin with, and it'll simply push down into place and make an audible click when it's fully installed. Perfect. Now with everything fully installed, let's go ahead and grab the key fob to the vehicle, set that down, and then we'll turn on all the electronics and turn on the heater. And don't be surprised if it makes some weird noises at first. Keep in mind this is the first time using our new blower motor, so the plastics haven't been broken in yet. Everything's brand new, so it might make some noises to start off with. But after a few seconds of breaking in, it's already blowing stronger than it ever has before, and there's no crazy noises coming from the passenger side glove box. And so now I'm going to do that same receipt test that I did before, and I'm holding up the receipt to the air vent, and you can actually see now it's moving like it's supposed to. The air is actually blowing the receipt out of the way, showing you that the new blower motor is functioning properly and blowing air stronger than ever. So that is how you replace a defective blower motor and regulator to restore your BMW AC system's performance. Be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay in the loop on more helpful videos like this one that'll help you save precious time and money.